have everybody's attention? Can we bring it in? Can we all come towards the door of the local? I want to welcome everybody for coming out today. We are here to support the members of Local 6. We're here to demand that the International Union give some oversight to the election process that's going on now so that we get a free and fair election. We're here because union members should have a choice. They should decide who leads them. We're here because it's the members' union, and many of us are here to support. So again, I want to thank you for coming. We have some really powerful speakers here today, and I'm really blessed just to be part of this situation. We would like to start with a prayer. Can I please call forward Pastor Carl Livingston? Carl is the pastor of Kingdom Christian Center and professor at Seattle Central Community College. Please come forward. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hello, everyone. Hello to Sister Amelia Vassar. Where's she at? And hello also to, what's the brother's name? I got to get it right now. Noor Abdi Shakur. Noor Abdi Shakur. Where is he at? And hello to the members of Local 6. Where are you at? Hello to all individuals in the community supporting a fair and free election. Where are you at? Come on, let's pray. Oh God, who is the creator of us all, and the God who has given us this new day, the God who is not just the God of power and might, but the God who cares about the poor and the working people. God, we come to you now and thank you and ask that you would bless what we're about to do today. Pray for your strength so that we can keep being advocates for those who do the hard work to make this country run like it does and still have to fight for their pay. For those who do the hard work to take care of their families and still have to fight for their benefits. For those who do the hard work to make sure that everyone is taken care of and still have to fight for their job security. God, we come to you now for your blessings. And we pray that you will strengthen this movement so that a fair and free election happens. Strengthen this movement so that the people in this great local get the fair and true representation they deserve. Strengthen this movement so that anyone who wants to rise up and speak to power will know that those who stand up and rise ultimately win. Strengthen this movement today. And for that, we're going to be careful to give you all the praise and all of the glory, both now and forevermore. And everybody said, Amen. Let me just say as a professor before I take my seat that I like to support movements of those who are standing up to make a difference. And that's why I'm glad that you're going to support Abdi Shakur, and I'm glad you're going to support Ms. Vassar, because their platform is a platform about advocacy. Their platform is a platform about change. And their platform is a platform of fair representation. They have stood up in the right way to be on the ballot, especially Ms. Vassar. And she was wrongly taken off the ballot, at least so far. They've tried to do it. But it's not going to succeed because we're not going to let it succeed. Is that right? It's not going to succeed because the people united shall never be defeated. Is that right? It's not going to succeed. And so it's important for us to stand together, all right? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Master. Let's warm up. Let's get a couple of chants in there. The people united will never be defeated. 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 The people united will never Just a very powerful woman. I think a lot of you know her, and if not, a lot of you will know her soon. Her mother has been a janitor, a member of SEIU Local 6 for a long time. Please help me welcome Toy Lynn, the daughter of Scoop Boy. Thank you.
I'm very happy to see my brother and sister today. Hi, everybody. Thank you for all coming here today. We need to fight for the fair election. Sergio Salinas is here for a long time. He's been here for 4 terms already. So we don't want him to be here anymore because he didn't do anything for all of us, right? We need a new blood. We need a fresh air. So we need to build this union to get the new, good president who stands for us, who protected us, who be with us all the way through, right? Yeah! So everybody, we would like to let my mom, the one who is working as the janitor for more than 20 years. Wow. So she will come here to let you know what did she do, and every time she have the injury or everything, so who will help her? So please welcome my mom, Upuy, the janitor, 20-year janitor.
Go mommy, go mommy. Yes, right.
My name is Oud. I work 20 years in janitor. But before I don't work too much.
Is there any way to make it less bright or a different setting
So
from the
now
baby?
I'm sorry for everybody. Young people work too much. We cannot work too much like that. So I want to talk with everybody. We need to take Sergio out. We need new president. We need people to help us because we work hard. He didn't do anything for us. So I let everybody know. Some people they don't know. You go home, tell your friend. Let everybody know he is the bad guy. He is not good anymore. Now we know him very, very, very well. Before we didn't know, but now we know. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. We have a lot of powerful speakers here, so I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I'm going to ask Eric Willis to come up next. Eric Willis is a longtime member of Local 6, and he's going to tell you a little bit of his story.
Thank you. Let me introduce myself.
Right into the mic.
Close to your mouth.
My name is Eric Willis, and I'm a member of the Junior Local 6. And I would like to take this time to thank you all for attending this rally, taking this time out to participate in this very important gathering. Knowing that you all should have been doing something else on this Saturday afternoon. Please applaud yourselves. You know, I have been contemplating on this question with myself, but the question was, we who are the people of Local 6, do we need a change? Yes! You know, I would like to also say when it comes to being loyal and serving my union, I'm 100% behind it. I'm a firm believer that we should acquire the same family format, a general plan of organization. I feel that the way a union should be, supporting, respecting one another from the top to the bottom.
That's right.
That question that I was contemplating on, do we need a change?
Yes. Yes.
My answer was yes, and let me express why I think we need a change. I went through a difficult experience with our Local 6 back in October 2013. It all began because of an incident that occurred in August 2013 when I fell into a diabetic coma. After recovering from the ordeal, my doctor cleared me to return to work. I was given a return to work statement
indicating that I have been released from his care and able to work without restriction. ABM, the company I'm still employed at, didn't honor my doctor's statement and denied me the right to come back to work. Their excuse was that I needed confirmation, examination from another physician stating that I would not be a liability to the company. So I went to my union, Local 6 for Health, discussing my situation that I was having with ABM, not allowing me to return back to work, showing them all the credentials that I was required to have. It wasn't a complex case to address, but unfortunately, nothing was resolved. But to make a long story short, I was disappointed. I wasn't disappointed at ABM, it was my union. And the reason because I had to go outside the union and hire a lawyer. I am back at work and I'm very pleased to be back at work. But it showed me that an organization is no stronger than their leader. Is this enough of a reason for me to want to change the leadership? We need a strong voice, white, black, blue, green, male or female. It doesn't matter to me at all. What team are you on? If we can't learn to work together, we will never be able to live together. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Eric. Thank you, Eric. We're gonna do. Some of y'all might have heard this one before. I'm gonna say, what do we want? You say justice, huh? What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
When I say free, you say elections. I say fair, you say elections. Let people know why we're here. Free!
Elections!
Fair!
Elections!
Free!
Elections!
Fair!
Elections!
Free!
Elections!
Fair!
Elections!
Free!
Elections!
Fair!
Elections!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
All right. I'm gonna ask a longtime executive board member of Local 6 to come forward now. Tom Bailey has been around for a long time and he's seen a lot of things happen. I'm just gonna ask him to reflect a little bit on what he's seen and some of his relationship with the current administration. Thank you much, Tom.
This way? Okay, I guess I got it. Well, first of all, I am Tom Bailey. I've been a janitor for 33 years. I've been on the executive board for a couple of terms. And just recently, we had the nominations, as you all know. And I was supposed to be nominated, but one of the people who did not make it today informed me that when they read the list of names, they did not read mine. And I was bumped off, even though I had all of the signatures. When I talked to Sergio after this, he kind of went, I said, what am I supposed to do with all these signatures? He goes, I get home and I have a Facebook friend with him. That was an accident, I'm sorry. It's kind of like, you know how email sends out when you try to get one person that invites all your friends? Well, I got Sergio. I said, oh shit. So I said, oh, okay, I can deal with this. Well, when I went home and checked out the nominations, he was no longer listed in my friends. Coincidence, do you think? No. One person I talked to yesterday, I'm trying to protect him. So he did not want to come today, and he said he can't even stand being around Sergio. But he comes to the council meetings because he wants to represent the members and be good for the members. But not Sergio. And he says he doesn't want to make himself visible here today because he sees what Sergio can do, and he's afraid that Sergio will take him out. Now, it doesn't say very good if the members are afraid to even speak. Yes? No. So, when I first met Sergio, he was an organizer. And there was word going around that the union represented the companies more than they did the people and the members. So when I called and started to say a particular issue to him, he was an organizer then. Well, I'm shouting. So he says that I was, that perhaps the company was right on my issue. And I said, wait a minute. And I kept trying to talk to him. He would not listen to me. And I finally said, well, fuck you, and slammed down the phone. Then I filed the grievance over the issue. I filed the grievance against the union. I get a call from Marlene, and she said, what's going on here? I said, don't you guys keep a record of grievances? She said, yes. I said, I filed one. She said, you did? Well, she straightened it out. And by the way, eventually, Sergio got rid of Marlene because she was strong enough to stand up and see through him. And he got Yasmin. I'm not speaking against Yasmin, I like her. But she has not, to this day, been doing the duty that she was elected to by the members. She is not. She is an organizer. She is not doing the duty. So he went straight from being a member to be the president of the union. I knew this and I watched it happen. In 2009, I sat down and I talked with him because I was becoming the chairman of the Shop Steward Council. And he said to me, you believe in a democracy, don't you? I said, yes, I believe in a democracy. He said, I believe in a controlled democracy. And he said, leadership is about control. Yes, that's what he said to me. Now, of course, he said this privately. And he probably doesn't realize, actually, I think he does realize at this point, that's why I got kicked off, that I remember and pick up on a lot of things. So he doesn't really want somebody like me, the independent thinker, to be on the e-board anymore. And I guess you guys can see why at this point, right? So he continued with this. Now this thing that I got here, this had already happened. I'm the chairman, right? I was elected chairman. He started to take over the entire thing. He would not meet with me anymore. He continued not to meet with me. I had no choice but to kind of let him take over. He took over the whole thing. You know, and he just kept doing that. At the time that we had this leadership conference 1 year ago, October, I was given this award for my outstanding leadership and work at the helm of the Shop Steward Council, while he continued to be the chairman. So, does this sound like control? Does this sound like he's being true to his words? It's all about control, right? To him. And so, basically that's where we are today. He is controlling everything, and this has to stop.
Tom, thank you, Tom. I know you've been to us out. Thank you, thank you. What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now!
Right.
All right, give yourself a hand. Give yourself a hand. Up next, I'm going to call forward Jorge. It might not be the Jorge some of you think I'm talking about. Jorge Stefan, he used to be a staff member here. He's doing a lot of great work in the community. He's got a lot to say. Thank you so much for taking time.
Hello, I just want to say that I am here to support democracy. It's about time that we have election in this local and fair election.
Right.
And nobody is attacking persons. We are not against people. We are against process of democracy, and that is what it is missing in here for a long, long time. And I think that is about time that we have a good, fair elections. And the community in here has been concerned for that for a long time. And it's not about me that I've been fighting here for insubordinated. It's not about that. It's not about being fired for disloyalty. It's not about any of that. It's about democracy. If we want a union then really succeed, a union that be representative of the community, a union that represent the worker, why should we be afraid about elections? That is all that we want, is fair election in any union. And this union should not be the exception. This should be an election and fair and clear, and let everybody to participate. Are we for free election? Are we for fair election?
Yes.
That is what we want.
Yes.
What do we want?
Yes.
When do we want that?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to say, show me what democracy looks like. Say, this is what democracy looks like, huh? Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show them what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show them what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show them what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
Free.
Election.
Fair.
Election.
All right.
Now.
Up next, I'm going to call for a very special man. One of the men who's put in a lot of work to make this day possible, right? I want to call forward Noor Abdi Shakur. He's a union steward at ABM, and he's running for Secretary Treasurer on the reform ticket. Thank you so much, Noor.
Thank you so much. My name is Noor Abdi Shakur. I'm working with IBM, Microsoft, Redmond, Washington. Today we talk about what the hell is going on in the union, Local 6. We talk about Sergio. We talk about why we chose Amelia. We talk about why we need justice now. So, last 12 years, Sergio, he was managing this local very long time, and he was managing also fair, unfair, no justice, no help, no support at all. So what happened is, we have today's election. It's a very time. Sergio, he see against him, someone against him. Amelia, she is the one we choose it right now. And also, why we choose the Amelia? Because she's working hard, very long time. She was supporting last 3 years, our member. She done over 400 cases. Actually, Sergio and his team, they're not working for us. They're working for the companies.
Yeah.
And also, we are here today to select Amelia next president of Local 6. Sergio, he's not following International Union Constitution and bylaw of the Local 6. Sergio, he was not helping us. He refused whoever all members. He became our enemy. So that way we decide to get the new president and new secretary. What happened is last Saturday when we got the nomination here, the union bylaws required they're supposed to answer the nomination within 7 days. So far, I don't have answered my nomination. That's illegal. And also, Amelia, when she published, when she sent an email, she became to the next president. He just closed her office. He locked out the computers. she cannot do nothing since last month. And also finally she get fired after nomination.
That ain't right.
That's not justice.
Unfair labor practice.
We are the member. We are the power.
Yeah.
We have the vote.
Right.
Let's find out who's gonna be next president. Is Amelia Vassar.
Yeah.
And also I want to tell you guys, the company we work for, we working very hard. We working up to 12 hours to finish 7 hours for the minute. We don't take a break. We don't take a lunch. I see people crying on the job site. I see people not taking break. I see people after clock out still they're working. That's illegal. And I don't understand why we call ABM Group A and B and C. I don't understand why we have a different race. I don't understand why Tacoma they don't get last 2 years race. I don't understand why they don't get Spokane. I don't understand what the hell is going on in this union. I'm telling you guys today, we are here for justice.
Yeah.
We are here to support our members.
Yes.
We are here to support our family, our kids. If you get tomorrow injured, who is going to be responsible in family? Did you ask yourself that? The workload, how long you can work? Are you ready to be next 3 years? I don't think so. Today, let's do the right thing. December 2nd is on the way. I want to talk to the international union. We call international union already. We need the justice. We need Amelia back to work. We need to continue the election. I want to say thank you, everyone. Be hardworking, be honestly. Let's go change this union. We don't have a power at all.
Yeah. Right.
I want to say, first of all, last 12 years, we get in the workload, worst. We don't have help. We don't have any support from our local. I was coming this door last 3 years. I was supporting 300 people for Microsoft, getting workload, injury, harassment, abusing, especially sexual harassment too. He never supported who is a victim, our janitor, Sergio. He never ever supported. You see this picture? What do you see in you guys? He have a good time. For our money. What do you think? You guys look like this guy is a president of local 6?
Yeah.
I don't think so. This I think might be Bamburu Beach or Hawaii, I don't know. And we working every single night very hard. We pay the union due. At the same time, we don't have any support. That's illegal. Let's go fight. Let's go continue our election. Let's go change this union. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Nora. Thank you, Nora. I believe that it is going to be a free and fair election on December 2nd because the members of Local 6 aren't going to stop until that happens. Right?
Right. Right.
I want to share with everybody a chant that I learned last week when everything went crazy at the nomination meetings and everybody who wasn't on Sergio's team got locked out the vote. All right. This is how the chant goes. Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Sergio has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Sergio has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Sergio has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Sergio has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Sergio has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Sergio has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Sergio has got to go! Hey, hey! All right. Hey, let's try one more. This one is especially for the community that comes out to support. Like we know what democracy is supposed to be. Like we know what it's supposed to look like, right? We know the members are supposed to decide this election, right? Let the members decide. Let the members decide. Let the members decide. Let He's doing a lot of great work in the community as well. I believe a lot of you know him, and if you don't, I'm sure you'll know him well. His name is Claude Perfect. Please come forward. Thank you much.
How you doing? Sure. You just gotta, I gotta hold it right to your face because I'm not gonna hear it otherwise.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Claude Perfect, and I'm retired now, but I'm formerly a member of WHOOPSI, the Washington Federation of State Employee, and I'm currently the president of the People of Color Coalition. Today, some local unions have strayed more from the democratic process to work on their own platform and agenda. And some total, disregarding the fabric of the 19th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America, prohibits any citizens of the United States from being denied the right to vote. This, sisters and brothers, is also inclusive of labor unions' electoral process as long as the guidelines are met. Sisters and brothers, we are standing here today rallying because a young lady, Amelia Vassar, was denied the right to run for president of a Local 6 of the Service Employees Industrial Union, SEIU. Ms. Vassar followed all the procedures required. For example, Ms. Vassar informed the proper authority of her intent to run for president on September 21st of 2014. Also, the executive board was notified on September the 24th. Notifications of her intent was within the 14-day frame. As we all know, labor unions across America are in a decline. Members are dropping as fast as the stock market in 2008. Corporate America is thrilled because they would love to see the right to work state, not only in the state of Washington, but in all of the United States.
That's right.
Labor unions, trust me, has been in the forefront of establishing the middle class in America and have kept corporate America in check because of the incidents across America similar to this. They are occurring daily. Corporate America is gloating because we as a union are self-destructing. Ms. Vassar, as a union member in good standings, believed that she could run for president of a local without repercussions, not in the local. Immediately things began to happen. For example, documentation deleted on our computer, removed from member source positions, inciting violence which has no basis, retaliated against, and terminated for quote-unquote disloyalty. Numerous violations occurred in the termination. In Mrs. Vassar's case, what we are seeing today is a sign of dictatorship, despotism, autocracy, suppression of the opposition. Sisters and brothers, that spell fascism in America. We can base this case on the principles of fascism. Ms. Vassar was denied due process of law, which constitutes the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. The legal requirements that the state respect all legal rights that are owed to a person. Also, just cause. U.S. labor union contract state. In the workplace, just cause is a burden of proof or standard that an employer must meet to justify discipline or discharge. Just cause usually refer to a violation of company policy or rule. In some cases, an employee may commit an act that is not specifically addressed within the employer's policy, but one of which the employer believes warrant discipline or discharge. In such instances, the employer must be confident that they can defend their decision. In 1966, an arbitrator, Professor Carol Doherty, expanded these principles into 7 tests for just cause. The concept encompassed within his 7 tests are: frequently used by arbitrators when deciding discipline cases.
Was the employee force forewarned of the consequences of his or her action? Are the employer rules reasonably related to business efficiencies and performance of the employer might reasonably expect from the employee? Was an effort made before discipline or discharge to determine whether the employee was guilty or is charged? Was the investigation conducted fairly and objectively? Did the employer obtain substantial evidence of the employee's guilt? Were the rules applied fairly and without discrimination? Was the degree of discipline reasonably related to the seriousness of the employee's offense and the employee's past record? The last test, the degree of discipline, is important because arbitrators want to ensure that the punishment fits the crime. In this particular case, Ms. Vassar was not given the opportunity of administrative reassignment, but instead was terminated. Today is a sad day for labor unions. We are standing here listening to testimonies regarding Mrs. Vassar's situation of her right to run for office within her local sinks, SEIU. This is also about, quote unquote, cronyism. Let me remind you, cronyism is when the person in charge to hold his or her own job or position of authority, and for this reason the appointer appoints individuals who will not try to weaken him or her or express views contrary to those of the appointer. I have come from state government, and believe me, I have seen these types of actions occur. As president of the People of Color Coalition, and my colleagues, Ted Thomas, president of Seattle chapter of the Coalition of Black Trade Unionists, Loretta Gutierrez, president of the Pierce County chapter of the CBTU, and president of the region, Paulette Thompson, will be working with Ms. Vassar to right the wrong that has been done. And injustice that has been imposed on her. Also, the Seattle chapter of the NAACP, the National Labor Relations Board, NLRB, and the international president of SEIU will be contacted regarding this issue with the impact that it could have on unions today. Salam alaikum.
All right, thank you, Claude. Up next, we have a union steward who's been putting in a lot of work in Tacoma. Please come forward, Mike Ladd, or let's switch places.
How's everybody doing?
How's everybody doing?
Solidarity from beautiful Tacoma, Washington. Just 30 miles down the road. Solidarity with my sisters and brothers from CBTU. You've always been with us every step of the way, no matter what we're doing. Solidarity with my friends from 50 Now Tacoma, from Socialist Alternative, and everybody who turned out today, because this affects all of us. We are part of the workers' movement. Whether you're organized or not, this is an affront to our rights on the job. This is our affront to our rights as working class people. I'm here tonight because I'm a young worker, and I want to have a future here. I want to have a future, and that will not happen with Sergio Salinas as president. I've only worked here for 4 years. It feels like about 15 or 20. In my short period of time, I've been run around. I've been burned out. I've been told one thing. I've been ignored. I've been blown off. I've seen good organizers who care about their members fired and messed around with. I've seen good shop stewards who have the courage to stand up to this leadership and defend their members and their coworkers, be blacklisted and pushed out of meetings. I'm an executive board candidate for the reform slate with Amelia and everyone else. And me and my comrades and my coworkers here, we were pushed out and walked out of our own union hall last week. This is our building and we were kicked out. We were kicked out of our own union hall. Sergio Salinas had this whole back office blocked off. When his sham election committee that was handpicked by him gave out this ruling that Amelia is going to be kicked off, they all ran and hid back there because they know that the members are on our side and they're not going to take it anymore. We pay for dues for liberation, not oppression. The union organizers should not be taking up the same tactics of the boss and intimidating us on the job every single day. They're here to defend us and help us, not rule over us like kings and queens.
That's right.
It's been a long week. I've been getting all kinds of calls, if you can believe that. In Tacoma, Washington, we are organizing to bring more janitors into our union. We are fighting every single day. We're expected to be 5-star janitors on our job, or else the boss comes after us. And on top of that, they mess with our pay, they mess with everything they can. And then we have to go out and organize to bring more workers into the union. We gotta build our communities, make them stronger. And while I'm doing that, when I'm standing on podiums just like this, and I'm railing against poverty, wages, and injustices, I got Sergio Salinas and his crew in here cutting deals with the boss. Cutting deals with the boss. Like our sisters and brothers who worked for Safeway as ABM workers that were denied access to the union because of a deal that he cut. I am sick and tired of seeing me and my coworkers work our fingers to the bone and die on the job because of work overload. And them sit by and watch. And the employers get rich. And we're dying on the job. We come in here, we tell him, he doesn't have anything to say about that. When I spoke at a UW team several months ago to talk about the situation of the janitors there and how they're paid subpar wages and they're not given health benefits, I said to the administrator, I said, when was the last time you had to worry about paying your rent? When was the last time you had to worry about a medical bill? When was the last time you had to worry about any of these problems that the majority of us have? Well, I got news for you, Sergio. When was the last time you cleaned the toilet? When was the last time you mopped the bathroom? When was the last time you did a shift at Microsoft, huh? Tell me how you feel after that. Tell me how you feel.
Very bad.
We have no other choice but to take on this leadership. This is the conclusion we've had. We've drawn. We fought for 15 and we won in Seattle. We're working on it in Tacoma. Now it's time to take back our unions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Up next, I want to call David Mook. Is David Mook out here?
I see him somewhere. David!
David!
Where he is? He's right there.
All right. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? All right. Thank you, David. Thank you, David. Tell him what's going on. Tell him why we're here.
I'm David. I work on Redmond, Microsoft Campus. I'm pro crew. So every day I go to a different building. I see a lot, many janitors didn't take the lunch time, only take 15 minutes. And same last week I was in the building 22. Okay. And I see one lady only take 15 minutes the lunch and no break time, a lot of work, and so union can, you know, how many years we work, no help janitor, didn't have janitor for the workload. That's a very important for everybody. We are here, you know, we work overload. That's why union had to do something for us today. So if this president cannot do for us, we have to change now. The other for Amelia, come back, come for work for us. Okay? We have to continue to battle for that. Okay? Go.
Thank you. We got a couple more speakers. Thank everybody for coming out. Thank you to the weather for the rain stopping and the sun coming to join us too. I want to call next Julio. Julio, can you come up and say a few words? All right. Can I have Amelia? Can I have Amelia Vassar come up?
Some of us are late because we're working so hard. Because we're tired.
All right, I'm going to ask you guys to move up a little bit. I'm a soft-spoken person, and I know we've got a bullhorn situation, so move up a little bit so you guys can hear me. couple women, Wilson Khalid, Farhia Ibrahim, Bernesh Tafari. You guys mind joining me up here? And Halima Ahmed. Would you guys mind coming next to me?
Halima, Pilsan.
Oh my gosh. Wilson, where are you?
Let everybody see.
Wilson, why don't you come up here?
Don't be scared. Today you just
So I want to thank you all for coming out. I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I decided to run against Sergio Salinas for president of Local 6.
We didn't either.
What I will say is that the reason I'm running, or some of the reasons I'm running for Local 6 president are sitting right here, right next to me. Wilson, Halima, Markia, Bernesh, these women inspire me. I've learned far more from you than you can ever learn from me. And you guys, I'm glad to consider you my friends, my family members, and we're gonna fight this together. That I worked for Local 6 for the past 2.5 years, primarily doing contract enforcement. So that means when your paycheck doesn't come on time, or you get a write-up at the job, I'm the one who processes your grievances. I'm the one who fights with your employer to get your discipline forward or taken out of your file. I'm the one who sits with you when your employer is disciplining you to make sure that they're following their RCDAs. Now, in the process of handling over 400 grievances, I learned some things about union procedure. I learned that there are certain employers that I'm not allowed to fight. I learned that there are certain members that are expendable. And I learned that there are certain offenses that the union will turn a blind eye to, even towards its most dedicated members. I want to talk about one woman in particular who's inspired me so much. Her name is Wilson. She's an activist, one of our strongest activists. She speaks, 5 languages. Whenever we've asked Wilson to be here, she's been here. Collecting hope, helping on the airport campaign. Whatever we've asked her to do, she's been there. Now, when she was attacked on the job by a supervisor, physically attacked at the workplace, the police were called. And what they did was they thrilled her for 4 hours without an interpreter. They wouldn't allow her husband to come next to her. And eventually she called me and I took her to the hospital. The next business day, she came to the union hall to fill out a police report. To fill out a workplace injury report. During this conversation, my supervisor came into the office to observe the conversation. The secretary-treasurer of the union came into my office to observe the conversation. And the president of the local paced back and forth in front of my office while I'm having this conversation with this woman, a star activist who was attacked at the workplace and talking to her union about a workplace injury report. A completely appropriate response to do. An hour after she left, I was told that I'm no longer allowed to do grievances for the union. I'm no longer allowed to do intakes for the union, and I need to switch offices immediately. And that this worker, Wilson Khalid, one of our star activists, if she needs help, she can speak to who we tell her to speak to. We are not going to reach out to her. So I asked my supervisor, is there something that I did wrong? What is it that I did wrong? Did I do something wrong? And their best response was, you had your niece in there with her, that was inappropriate. So I said, my niece watches her baby. And my niece was with us when we took her to the hospital after she was attacked. This is the union right here that I want to change. This is what I see as an organizer. And this is something that has to change from the top. This is a reflection of the leadership of the union. And Wilson wants to know that she said nobody helps them. And no one has since that day. I want to talk a little bit about Farhia. Now, Farhia is new to this, right? Farhia started, helping me by circulating petitions at her workplace, supporting the nomination of myself and Noor for president and secretary-treasurer of the union. She was then approached by Yasmin Aiden, secretary-treasurer of Local 6, and asked, will you circulate my petitions? I need help. She said, no, I'm circulating petitions for Amelia and Noor. She was asked the second time, I need you to help me. She said no. 2 days later, she was called into a meeting with her supervisor and told, you are moving from the day shift to the graveyard shift, starting next week. When she said, why? When she asked why, they said, this is coming from the union. I don't have any say in this. This is coming from the union. So he had called me immediately and said, what's going on? I'm being transferred from the day shift to the graveyard shift. So union organizer Angie Rayfield reached out to Gil at ABM and said, hey, what's going on? Why is she being transferred? His response was, talk to Fred. This is coming to Fred. And he said that over email. Now, Fred Prokiv is an organizer with Local 6 who conspired with Yasmin Aden to take this woman and get her transferred from the day shift to the graveyard shift because she would not circulate their petitions. This is not what you pay union dues for. This is not what you pay union dues for. This is completely illegal, and this is something that the whole world needs to know that the union is participating in. Now Bernesh is another story. Now Bernesh was being harassed at her workplace after she received a workplace injury, right? She was asked, since she was on modified duty, to go to floors that had absolutely no electricity at nighttime and clean them. And when I say no electricity, I mean Bernesh had to use her cell phone to see her way around the floor. That's how dark it was. Bernesh told me what happened, and I went to Charlie Jones of ABM and said, what are you doing? There is no reason whatsoever this worker should be working in the dark. You have floodlights. You have portable lights. This is insane. And she's going to get injured. He said, fine, I'm going to fix the problem. He never did. What ended up happening on December 29th, 2013, was Bernesh fell at work in the dark workplace because she couldn't see her way around the floor. The ambulance was called, and the ambulance couldn't even find her because there was no electricity on the floor and it was too dark. So eventually she was taken out of the workplace and re-injured. So now she has 2 injuries, her hand and her back, because her supervisor knew she was in an unsafe working condition and refused to do anything about it. So when I assisted Bernesh, when I started going to her case, her hearings with her, I was discouraged from my union. They asked me, why are you getting so involved in this? This is not your responsibility. You're not supposed to be going this far. I said, why? Is there something that I'm not doing? Am I not catching up with my workload? Are there reports that are not being done? Please let me know if there's something that I'm supposed to do that I'm not doing because I'm helping the members too much. They couldn't come up with one single thing. So what I've learned as an organizer is what we're supposed to do is the bare minimum of what we're required to do. That's it. Do as much as do as little as you possibly have to do to prevent the members from suing us. But forget about advocacy, forget about fighting for the members, just go through the motions. That's what I've learned, and that's what I want to change. I know that Local 6. All right. I know with our membership, our potential is limitless. We've got members from all over the world, members from all walks of life, members who've been teachers, who've been lawyers, who've been engineers, who come to this country and they have to start over. They want to start over and they want to build their union. But what we want is union staff, is members who will come to a meeting and simply agree with everything union leadership says. That is not the membership that we need. We need membership who has the ability to show their true potential. And that is what I'm hoping you will help build with me. Woo! Yeah! So again, I want to thank you all for coming out. I want to encourage you that on your flyer, I won't close this, but on your flyer, there are some contact numbers that I want you to reach out to. Please call the International Union and encourage them to come and oversee this process. Let them know that Sergio Salinas is violating our Constitution and bylaws. That Sergio Salinas and his crew are retaliating against members who won't participate in their election campaign. let them know that Sergio Salinas and his crew have been campaigning publicly on company time using your dues money to further his cause. That's what the International Union needs to know. They need to hear from you, and we need to make sure that our voices are heard. Woo! Another message that I want to send out to the International Union is that this is a member-driven campaign. We have community members who have come out to fight the interference in the elections process, and we appreciate their support. However, for the purposes of our campaign, we will be limiting any sort of assistance to union members of SEIU Local 6. Thank you.
Thank you, Amelia. Thank you for everybody else who came out to show support. There's going to be democratic, free and fair elections in Local 6 because we're not going to stop until we get there. I want to call forth one more speaker who's going to close us out. Mohammed, could you please come forward just to say a few words for yourself? Thank you so much.
Muhammad is going to, he's from our community. He want to talk to the Somalian people for our language. Please welcome.
My name is Mohammed. وسلامتي كل جيل سيدا international school. وسلامتي ذلك ماشي جوا إنت سكول يو community dhammaanteen waa idin salaamay salaanka bacdi anjaleena meesha waxaan ugu nimi anjaleena inaanu siboodno oo aanu si fiican u siboodno cadaaladda ay ku shaqaynaysay nooyanka iyo midnimada ay ka shaqaynaysay ayaan waxaan ku siboodaynaa anigoo ku hadlaya communitiga Soomaalida magaciisa waxaanu siboodaynaa anjaleena sida ay ugu shaqaynaysay Amelia ayaanu siboodaynaa waxaanuna u siboodaynaa in ay yani qof aad iyo aad u wanaagsan ay tahay oo ay communitiga oo ay si fiican ugu shaqayso ayaanu ku siboodaynaa wixii ka hor yimaadana aad iyo aad baan u xambaaraynaynaa wasalaamu calaykum waraxmatullaahi wabarakaatu.
Thank you.
Hey, I just want to thank everybody again for coming out. You will be in touch. Talk to the person who told you about this rally so we can see how it all turns out. Make sure that Local 6 and SEIU International do the right thing. Unions can work. Unions are a good thing, but sometimes we have to help them work, right? And we should not let Sergio make all unions look bad. That's not good for anybody. That's not good for the future. Thank you for coming. Talk to the members before you leave.